The old church cemetery from 1863. The slaves were buried here. From Wormslow. This here is the graveyard of the slaves of the Wormslow, and here we are. All these sites here, right here, and it's not that big, of course, but yet back in the 1800s to now, presently, I'm standing in the site where the Wormslow slaves were buried here. This is where the Wormslow slaves back in the 1800s were all buried, which is just down the road. It's not that big of a cemetery, of course, and this is just daytime. As you can see, plots are even so small as just a plaque to the ground, not even a tombstone. Some have the privilege of his tombstone. But it's not that bad. Although it's sad to see that they were only treated this much of just a slate of stone, not even a tombstone. Most to some of these slaves. Most others were given the chance and opportunity of a slave to have a tombstone. Perhaps they were the keepers. But again, all they got was a mount. I'll give it that much. In the late 1800s, early 1900s, at least that much they got. They could have got worse, just piled onto one another. But it's better than having nothing. Not even a name. And I've sent anything. A little plaque. The former home and plantation of Noble Jones, and one of the original colonists who arrived in Savannah with General James Oglethorpe in 1733. Wormslow offers a glimpse into the lives of Georgia's earliest European settlers. The Jones House was originally constructed out of tabby, a mixture of sand, water, lime, and crystal shells. Many of the crystal shells used to build the house came from shell mounds left behind from ancient Native American settlements on the site thousands of years earlier. 822 acres of Georgia forest sheltered by peaceful marsh to the east and south. when the Jones family lived at Wormslow in the mid 1700s. Their home was fulfilled by 8-foot tall tabby walls to protect Jones and his family from Spanish and Indian attacks. Jones was buried at Wormslow in 1775 alongside his wife Sarah, and later their youngest son Inigo in 1875. George Jones de Rena, a descendant of Noble and Sarah Jones, moved, and Nicole remains. This burial site behind this fence, this gated fence, is where Jones is buried, along with his wife, Sarah. And then here's Wormslow here. Though I can't get in all the way, but this is where they were all the slaves. And all the way down, 3.5 miles. This is the history of Wormslow in the dark, in the night. Where I was today earlier. Trees. Here I am again, back at the cemetery. See if I can pick it up more. Bring it close to me. We have all these sites. There's an orb that you saw. It's not fun at night, I'll tell you that, because you can see things more at night than you do at day, especially the graveyards. Obviously, because I like to play more, but there's some stones next to me this way. And I believe right here. From the 1800s to early 1900s. Some stones may even be now. You never know. Until next time, on Parahunters. See you next time.